And the road has started to the 2022-23 Premier League trophy being hoisted above. We yet to know, of course, whose head. But I would like to talk now, gentlemen, about a club that wishes there could be in a montage like that, and that is Manchester United, and Cristiano Ronaldo specifically. The problem with Ronaldo and Ten Hag right now, Tim, let's talk about Ronaldo telling the club he wants to leave. Clearly, at the moment, has nowhere to go. Might have to change his mind and stay. Left a friendly at the weekend early before the team had even finished playing. Where do you stand on Ronaldo's behaviour and where it leaves Ten Hag?
Well, it leaves Ten Hag in a tough position. It's not unexpected. I actually am not angry that Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave. If it was about not wanting to be there because he needs Champions League football, that could have been sorted, done and dusted back in May. He could have had that conversation with his agents, representatives and the club, kept it quiet as quiet can be, and at least tried to get through that period. To go into preseason all the way right up touching the season and then drop it on Ten Hag, that's very difficult. What I would say is some of the reports now are saying he's going to stay. There isn't really a market for his transfer. If that's the case, Ten Hag has a player on his hands who's going to work hard, who's going to score goals, who's going to give the team everything he has because that's in his nature. And so if that relationship can be quickly mended, I think there's a way out of it.
But is it just the relationship between Ronaldo and Ten Hag that has to be mended? I mean, maybe some of the other players have feelings too. It's a distraction, isn't it?
It's the worst scenario. If we'd have went, OK, I thought he should stay on because his goals could be valuable this season. That's one thing. Stay and honour your contract. I mean, 2-year contract, there's no clause as far as anybody knows that said if we don't finish in the Champions League spots, I can leave the club. So honour your contract, the club that you love, and the fans love him, of course. But to stay there with a cloud above him and the club and the poor Erik Ten Hag, who's trying to get some enthusiasm, some excitement for the team, has this scenario now. And if he stays at the club and he continues, he's going to play, he's going to be on the bench, the camera's going to be on him all the time. Your first words almost about United is Ronaldo, where it shouldn't be. It should be about, OK, let's try and turn this thing around and get some positivity back. The window's been disappointing as well up to this point. But, I mean, selfish. Wants his own records in the Champions League goals and appearances and everything else. And I understand, I guess he's such a huge figure in the game of all time. But, little old me, I'm a team player. We all are. And it just smacks of being selfish.
Selfish?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's 37. He didn't become selfish in April.
But this is uber selfish.
No, he's been selfish his whole career, and that's what's made him successful. So I understand it. Look, I think from what I've seen from Ten Hag, when I listen to his interviews, when I watch him train the team, I think he's going to win this. I think he's going to win.
And how? What does that look like?
Get Ronaldo back on side.
He's got to win it, Tim. By the way, yeah, he's got to win it. He's got to you're not playing. You're on the bench. Listen, I don't want to hear anything from it.
He's strong enough to. I believe in the short period of time he's been in charge, he's strong enough to win it. And what I mean by that is, get Ronaldo back on side, get him playing. He'll score the goals. If that doesn't happen, and Cristiano Ronaldo's unhappy, Ten Hag has to be the one to say, sorry, you're on the bench, or I leave you out, or stay home. We've seen it with other big players, Aubameyang last year at Arsenal. That's a big decision. It catapulted the club forward.
In all fairness, the best scenario is him to leave the club, isn't it?
Yeah.
Leave the club.
Yes.
Enough now. Let's find somewhere for you, if they can find anybody, and get him out of the football club.
Because in terms of how Ten Hag wins this battle, the only way Ronaldo is going to be happy is if he plays every week. Ronaldo's not going to want to sit on the bench, but you've got Martial, who's come back in great form from his loan spell in Spain. You've got Rashford, who apparently has been brilliant in pre-season. There's not a lot of space to fit this player in. Plus, you get everyone saying all the time that it's not about the goals, it's the fact that he changes the way they play. He slows everything down. He doesn't press. So how does he win this? If he stays, if Ronaldo stays.
If he stays, then of course he's got to show he's the boss. And when he plays, he plays. When he doesn't play, But in some ways, it's difficult because the media and the cameras will zoom in on Ronaldo's face. He'll be talking under his breath. He'll be leaving. He'll be getting up. The body language thing is something they so don't need right now. And that's what I'm sure Man United fans, they still love him. And I get that. And I've heard of United fans saying, I understand if he wants to leave, you're back in the Champions League. But for me, I mean, I'm a huge fan of what he's done last year and what he could do this year. But with this attitude, maybe he can turn it around and just, be happy. But I don't know.
Here's how we win. He has to win. He has to win it.
Ten Hag.
Ten Hag has to win, and here's how he wins. Klopp did it with Gerrard at Liverpool. It's not easy, but you have to have a vision 4 years down the road. You have to say, this is going to be catastrophic. The media is going to be on it. This club is run by former players. That's been every manager's downfall since Ferguson. He has to come in and go, I don't care about anything else. That's exactly what Jurgen Klopp did at Liverpool. I know all the giants. I know all the greats. I'm going to make my own decisions, and I have an idea of how I want to look 4 years down the line. That's how he has to look at it.
But you're right. It's crazy. We're talking about Ronaldo when this club is gigantic, one of the biggest, if not the biggest club in the world, but we're still talking about Ronaldo because that's what's on the back of the pages of the newspapers. Now, there was a glimmer of hope that for Ronaldo to go to Chelsea a month or so ago, but now that's gone. That has seemed to have gone. Thomas Tuchel, I don't think, wanted him. Todd Bowley did entertain the possibility of Ronaldo coming. How are you sensing this relationship between Todd Bowley, new owner of Chelsea, who's very hands-on, and Thomas Tuchel? They've missed out on a lot of players, Robbie.
They have. I'm assuming they're working together, by the way, because it's very transitional at the Chelsea Football Club. The whole board and recruitment department has gone. So who's he getting advice from? I'm sure he's getting a ton of calls from agents, but it's got to be Thomas Tuchel, I'd think, they'll be working together to suggest players. It's been a little scattergun. They've missed quite a few players. They've ended up jumping onto players that other teams were interested in, Cucurella being one of them. Frankie de Jong might be another one they're interested in right now. Wesley Fofana, another one. So it's a little scattergun. But I respect Todd Bowley for getting in there, rolling his sleeves up, chairman, acting director of football, to try and make things happen. Again, there's plenty of time in this window. And my prediction of them dropping out of the top four could be different in a couple, 2 or 3 weeks' time because money's burning a hole in his pocket and he's not afraid to spend it.
But the modern way is that the manager doesn't have to do any of that. The manager just has to coach the team and gets given the players from the director of football and the owner. Thomas Tuchel has a huge amount on his plate right now.
Yeah. Well, he does, and he's very strong-minded, very strong-willed. We see that on the touchline. All the rumors and reports are that's his personality. And Todd Bowley comes in, the entire ownership group. There's going to be a standoff. There's going to be a, whose show is this? And I know best. And I totally agree. I'm happy Bowley's gone in there, rolled his sleeves up, as you said, doing all the transfers as best he can. They are spending the money, and I like Koulibaly, I like Sterling, I like Cucurella. So they've missed a few targets, but they have gotten some good players in. My big issue with Chelsea is they've spent big the last few summers as well, and it hasn't come off always. So it's a little bit of a concern.
But I suppose from the fans' perspective, at least they're spending big. The big concern was when Abramovich left, would they have the money burning the hole in the pocket or not? They do. It is being spent, and they ain't showing any signs of stopping quite yet. Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend at 7 a.m. Eastern. And for even more content, head over to Peacock, where we've got live games, original series, and a dedicated round-the-clock Premier League channel featuring studio shows, classic matches, and much more.